Austin, Texas, y'all. Gentleman here fishing. Ducks in the background. Some graffiti art here. City of Dreams. I would say over the last decade, Austin has been growing. I mean, there's statistics and all that, but definitely seeing lots of growth everywhere. This is the downtown area. This is Lady Bird Lake. If you've ever been here, they have a whole trail system that you can walk the city. It's pretty nice. Sometimes they have like people playing music up here, pianos, and that kind of thing, which is always cool. You know, I will say that one of the main things that makes any city really is the ability to care. Even a little bit makes a big difference. I would say that's the biggest difference between a city people want to move to and a city that you may not want to move to. People care around here. So they care about the environment. They care about people. They welcome newcomers, which I think it's a big piece of the puzzle. Big piece of the puzzle. They have different events that occur throughout the city. Of course, you probably heard of them, South by Southwest and all these kind of things. But the key component to watch, I would say, within the city is how the next 5 years look. I think it's going to get bigger. You have the University of Texas down here. And with the University of Texas, it's one of the top rated colleges or universities in the country. You can look it up. And I think that will continue moving forward. Which is one of the large. I mean, I think there's over 30,000 students here every year. In continuing that, I think it's going to continue to get bigger, obviously, unless they put caps. Not sure how that will work. But definitely, people will choose to live here. And with that volume, you have more people going in and out. You do find that here. A lot of people come here and then leave. A lot of people come here and stay. But that's with any great city.
Went back, so put on it.
Let's go. Artwork.
It's so hot. Like, by the time that I decide that I want to, it's like I need to be in the shade.
Well, that's my take, at least on the growth of the city. Should you move here? You know, as good as it gets. I'm sure it could be better. but I always recommend you travel. And obviously, if you've done that, you already know. I may be biased, you know. I have done some traveling in my life. San Diego was the last place I lived in for almost a decade, maybe a little more, and that was pretty nice. Very expensive as far as like housing, but very pleasant weather, Mediterranean weather. A lot of people chose to reside there or move there during the pandemic, so it's not gotten even more expensive. I'm sure it's affordable depending on the situation you find yourself as far as income. People make it work. Just depends on your housing or how you're trying to live and whatnot, and also how you take advantage of the area. You see people kayaking there. This is pretty cool. I'm walking the trail here. This is Lady Bird Lake, which is pretty cool. It's one of my favorite. You can do up to 10 miles, maybe more, but 10 miles is the max. The smaller 3-mile loop is where I'm at right now. It's a good one for a quick exercise day. Today I'm walking. It's my recovery day. But back to, this bird's a hunter. So yeah, this is a good spot overall. I don't know where you're coming from, but on my perspective, I've lived in Florida, the Carolinas, California, traveled all over there. And you know, it's not a mountain town. We have all this cool, you know, like mountains and that kind of thing. But you do have these little hills. This is a little hill here. And then you got the hill country, which is pretty good for mountains, or, you know, hills, whatever. If you need that kind of scenery, they have that hill country. So anywhere on the west side of Austin. And then as you go east, it gets flatter. But overall, it's not bad. It's not bad. Put it this way, you're not, if you move to Austin or you're living in Austin, it's not a bad move. It could be a stepping stone for you, where you like decide of what aspects you like. It's definitely one of the larger cities now in the country. I think it's top 10 or maybe 11, depending on some areas, because there's a lot of areas like Dallas and Houston that have had a lot of growth. And but Austin is the capital of Texas. Yeah, you're about an hour away from San Antonio, about 3 hours from Houston, and 3 hours from Dallas. You're in that golden triangle that they talk about, which has about 30 million people. And just to give you the perspective on that little triangle, it's not the whole state of Texas, just a triangle between Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. And so that'd be like the size of Venezuela, the amount of people.